hope you're all having the most unbelievable day ever. We have got a show for you today, and it's so exciting that we had to bring my co-host with me, which is always a trip because I've already gotten in trouble because she said my forehead is shining, which was extremely hurtful out of the gate. So how do you, I'm in I don't know if you've ever been to Boston Market before. I wish you could see. We've got all these lights behind me. So I am like a rotisserie chicken. And it's the worst. So nothing like making a guy feel self-conscious right out of the gate. She goes, oh, no, we got to get some angel dust or something like that for my forehead. Hello, honey. How are you?
I use spit on your hair, but it won't work on your forehead.
Yeah, so no spit. So this is Denise Chenault. Who are you?
I am Denise Chenault.
And you're my wife and?
Most of the time.
Luckiest in the world.
Oh, and totally.
So who are we interviewing today, and why are you so excited?
One of my favorite people of all time.
Why'd you jam yourself into my show?
Angel Fletcher. Well, I saw Marianne's announcement. Marianne Niehaus, our producer, she put out an email saying that Angel Fletcher was going to be on, and I thought, I can't miss this. And so I kind of jammed myself in and said, can I help?
That's unbelievable. Well, we got a lot of people already looking at us, so I'm telling you what, Leslie Herbert, and there's Pamela Ann Schwartz, and Adrian Chenault, and Duke Rumley, and Bill McCurdy. Alan Steelman, I love him, the congressman, U.S. congressman from this great state of Texas.
Yogi.
And he's a yoga, crazy guy. Love him. So let's get this show on the road. Hello, Angel Fletcher. How are you?
Wow. Hello, Tom and Denise. I'm excited. It's 2019.
Yes, it is. So tell us a story, young lady. What's been going on with you, and what does the new year bring?
Well, the new year brought for me, the beginning was about declutter. I had to declutter my house and my office and make a room for all the amazing things that are coming for 2019. So you have to do out with the old and in with the new, right?
Yep.
I love it.
And so doing that, you are getting rid of some stuff and some things and some activities that were slowing you down in 18 to put you on hyperdrive in 2019, correct?
Yes, absolutely. It's hard to focus when you have all this stuff out here. It's hard to stay in your lane when you're watching all the traffic going by. And so for me, I started my year off with decluttering, going through, sorting out some Facebook stuff, and really getting my vision and my focus in line for what I plan to do in 2019.
And you said you took a little social media sabbatical for a little bit?
I did 5 days off, 5 days, because it's hard to get wrapped up in social media and scrolling and commenting and liking and, oh my gosh, who's doing this and who's doing that I needed to have clarity. And I think that when you can clear out some of that and really let your thoughts and your spirit guide you, then you have a clear vision and a focus of where you're going, and you're not so fuzzy on where you've been.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And did you feel like you were missing out during that time, or was it just wonderful?
It was actually joyous. It was actually, I knew that I was meant to be doing because I had joy. I didn't miss it. I missed the people. But one of the things that I learned in 2018 that I'm taking into 2019 to refine is, in order to take care of everyone else, I have to take care of me. And that's a really hard lesson to learn when we're all about serving. We want to put everybody else first. But if I don't have 100% of me, how can I give 100% to them? And how can I serve them from a place that I need to be coming from? And so clarifying that, cleaning out some of that old stuff was just a really important task. And I'm so excited. We have so much good and amazing things coming in, not only in my company and my team and my life, but in our profession. 2019 there's so much change that happened, and so many things that having clarity is good. The people that have clarity are going to be the ones that end 2019 want to.
I love it. Yeah. I think it's really important to be able to step back and to have a perspective like that. And I used to always, there were a few times of the year where we would travel certain places that didn't have Wi-Fi or telephone, and I always enjoyed those times to be able to have. Tom hates it.
I
He
can't
just hates
stand it.
it.
I can't
It's like he
stand
wants
it.
to pull his hair out. I'm like, for me to have that focused time and to be able to write and to think and to have that space is really great for me. And when you couple the fact that you have a really great excuse to not have that connection, it makes it easier.
So here's the deal. When they have Denise on the screen and she's talking, that means I can't goof around and respond to all these comments. So I don't want any of you thinking that I'm doing anything other than paying I'm not doing something else on this show. I'm just trying to make doggone sure that I am the best co-host Denise has ever had. So any of you think that I'm goofing around or
Oh, I thought
doing,
I was the co-host.
no, I am like, you're my boss. So it's you and Angel today. Angel, talk about where you came from just a short while ago to where you are now, because people cannot imagine how low. I mean, I don't cry much. I mean, I'm the coldest hearted, most mean man in the world. I can see anything happen and not have a tear in my eye until I heard you speak at GoPro, and I was sobbing, and I was sitting right next to Richard Bliss Brooke, and I was holding on to him, and he said, Tom, don't shudder. And it was just unbelievable because of your story. So would you please talk about where you came from, because people need to know that they aren't alone being at the very bottom and realizing there was a way out of it and how you did it. Please talk about that a little bit.
Well, absolutely. Tom, it's funny because the majority of my life, I heard people that had money say, you have to have money to make money. And I really believed that. My whole mindset, I would never be anything. I would never be able to change my existence. And to the point that, when you're living life, everything that, because it's something you do in, day out, it feels like this is where you're supposed to be. This is your norm. So I am from a very small town in Florida. They only have one red light in the entire county. And there are a couple of things you can do there. You can grow up and work at a dairy. You can grow up and you can go and be a prison guard. You can be a waitress. You can work at a dollar store. Or you can drive 45 minutes to an hour to a normal sized city, Gainesville, and you can do something else. Well, I was a mom of 4 and I fell into this rut of just feeling like everything was normal. I was married to a man, was married to him for 20 years. We raised our family, and every day of my life, I lived an alcoholic life, not because I drank, but because he drank. And so I exposed my children to this for 20 years. And it wasn't until I got away from that. I was invited, my baby sister was getting married. I was invited to come and be a part of her wedding. And when I was away for a week and a half, I figured out what I was doing wasn't okay. What I thought was normal was settling. And so I went back after the wedding, and we had lived paycheck to paycheck. Didn't know how I was going to do anything. I just knew something had to change. Well, after the wedding, some really bad days happened in our life. And I woke up on a Tuesday and I decided I can't do this anymore. I just can't. So I went to work. I worked for a doctor's office, and I said, I have to change. I'm giving you 2 days notice, not 2 weeks. So on Thursday, I woke up. He went to work, and I took my children and put them in a vehicle and packed one suitcase each, and we left. Wow. And I chose the person that was furthest away so that my daughter, who was still underage, didn't have to do drunk daddy weekends. I didn't want her in a car with a drunk driver. I didn't want, I had to protect her. And so I literally chose my mom, who was over 3,000 miles away in Idaho. So I literally went from the bottom southeast to the top northwest. And that way I could protect her. And we started life there. And we started out in a government apartment. We didn't have any money, didn't have a plan. We were on food stamps. We were on welfare. The bottom of what somebody who had just lived a life of, robbing Peter to pay Paul, living on a very tight budget and dealing with an alcoholic who didn't care if your baby had diapers as long as he had his next six pack. And you know, Tom, we were at the bottom of the bottom, but for us, it was one of the most joyous times of our life because we had peace. We had peace. We didn't have a plan. I struggled so hard to find a job there because, you know, you go in and they say, oh, well, you're not from here. Where are you from? Oh, well, and you just puke your story all over them. So finding a job proved to be very difficult. And one day I picked up a newspaper and I had been putting in applications and resumes and doing so much. And I knew I had amazing work ethic. I could run an office. I was a hard worker. I had never in my life had to work for minimum wage before, but I found this ad for an insurance company and I walked in and there was a man standing behind the counter and I said, listen, I need a damn job. I am willing to work hard. I'm willing to start out at minimum wage. And if you will give me a chance to prove to you that I am worthy of doing more for you and of making more money, in 3 months, if you haven't doubled my salary, you can fire me.
Wow.
And the man turned around and yeah, it was crazy. The man turned around and he hired me on the spot. During that time, my daughter was suicidal. She was so unhealthy and so miserable that we had her on 24-hour suicide watch as a 13-year-old. Life was very hard for us. A year into that, I decided that the doctors weren't doing anything to help her. And I decided to go on this mommy search. I had to fix her. And I found network marketing. I found a product and from a Facebook post, a before and after, and I decided to give it a try. What the heck? Nothing else was helping. And from that moment, our existence on this planet completely changed. Her health was better. We were losing weight. We felt good. But from my business didn't grow from me going, oh, I think I want to make a little more money. My business grew because I accidentally went on Facebook 3.5 weeks in and said, holy cow, her doctor took her off 2 medications today. And I was just sharing that with my family and my friends.
Boom.
All over the country.
Hang on. We got to take a break, and then we're going to come back right after this. Okay. So this is the Tom Chenault Show on the Genesis Communications Network. Thank you to Ted Anderson for putting us on 550 stations. So listen to the ads. We'll be right back. And we're back. So this is the fake commercial, Angel. So this is even better because now we get to our favorite part, which is, so put her in the corner, Marianne, so she's in the corner of the screen for me. All right, this is so exciting, everybody. This is Tom Chenault. Now I'm bringing in my co-host, sponsor of the show, the one and only Adrian Chenault. I've known the kid all his life. Just unbelievable guy, and I love him. And hello, Adrian. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Never better. What's going on?
Just doing great, Angel. Your story just never ceases to amaze me, and who you are never ceases to amaze me. And Happy New Year.
Yeah. So what's been going on with contact mapping?
Well, it has been a fast and furious start to the year. So we were at GoPro Recruiting Mastery.
I love that place. Eric Worre is watching.
Is he? Oh, that's awesome. Hi, Eric. He's the best. So we were there. Angel was there. She was incredible. We talked a little bit about how much she blew us away. But
sobbing.
We met so many great people there, and there was just one problem. Is you forgot your phone, and so you didn't contact map anybody. So we were trying to think about it, and you met that one guy.
I know it.
And
so Adrian's been busting me about this guy because he was so unbelievable, and every time. So these guys are so high intentional guys that they said, or this Rick Manelius, who's his partner that went into MIT. So these guys have me on Superhuman. They've got me on all these Trello and Slack and all this stuff. So this morning we had our management meeting. And there's this one guy that we really, really wanted to get hold of, and they said, Tom, did you get hold of him yet? Is that kind of what happened?
So we were trying to find his contact information.
So he's one of these guys. So here's the deal, and here's the way all you guys do things, is you've got all these business cards of all these people, and it's just absolutely insane because you're going through the desk to try to find that one guy that you need, and you've got yellow stickies and all this shit sitting around waiting for somebody to be able to figure out who. Oh, wait, I think I got him. Yeah, he's buy one, sell one for 1%. Who is that guy? I think that's him. Your Way Home. Yeah, it was Claudia Archuleta. She's a realist. No, she's not it.
No, not the
Oh
right
my
shoot.
gosh, I don't understand. I wrote their name, all their stuff on the back of the one Wealth Wave or whatever the heck his name is. You guys, this is the way you operate your lives. It is a nightmare. You're on Yellow Stickies, Excel spreadsheets, and every other CRM. This is not a CRM. We are an RMS. RDS. What's that stand for?
A relationship development system.
Yes. Think about that. Relationship. I want relationships, not contacts. I have plenty of contacts. They're all there down there on the floor. They've done me no good. All those cards are cards that we just got out of my briefcase because we all have that. And don't you lie. Every one of you are in the same spot. And every one of you think all those people, you remember who they are. And I have no idea who Claudia Archuleta is.
It's long gone.
Long gone. All right. So that is so exciting. And our producer in the background, Marianne, goes, Claudia Archuleta is my friend, and she's my lead. Don't you dare steal her.
That is so sad.
It is a nightmare.
That is so
It's
sad.
a nightmare, but that's the way we all operate. Instead, contact mapping came along.
That's
You've got,
you have about 10 seconds. So contact mapping,
.com.
contactmapping.com. What you should have done, Tom, if you'd been listening to me at all, is you would have been at that conference, you would have been making all these great relationships, and you would have put them into your contact
I'd have
mapping
taken
app.
their picture,
You'd have taken their picture,
brain dump the notes,
into the app.
and I would have said Claudia Archuleta is Marianne's friend.
Exactly.
And so I wouldn't be trying to steal her right now
Exactly.
because I'd know who she was.
It could have been a whole different thing.
So every one of you go to contactmapping.com right now and look at the site. You're going to get 3 more doses of this ad, so don't think you're going to get off the hook because
We've got more business cards.
We've only got one sponsor, and it's him. We'll be back after this. Get out of here, Adrian. Denise. And we're back. It is the Tom Chenault Show, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day. And during the break, I hope you bought something on the Genesis Communication Network. And we are with Angel Fletcher today. I brought my co-host along with me for 2 reasons. 3 reasons. 1, she's far more beautiful. 2, she's far more knowledgeable. And 3, her forehead is not shining from the lights. So I
Which
like
you
that.
wouldn't be able to see on the radio anyway, but that's okay.
She primped during the break. So, hello, Pamela Schwartz. I saw that Richard Bliss Brooke is actually trying to steal our favorite poster on Facebook right in front of me because Pamela Ann Schwartz is like, and Sean Murphy. I'm telling you, 2 people that are absolutely such fans of the show. Mark Cohen, I don't want to exclude anybody, but it is so exciting to have all of you. I hope you liked the commercials, and especially that one commercial. And we're back. What do you think, baby? Take it away. So
I
Angel
love
was talking about
her story, and
going on to Facebook, and all of a sudden it exploded, and she didn't even mean for it to happen.
well, what I know, though, my experience with these kind of stories is that when you put that Facebook post up about the success that your daughter had with the product, it must have been hugely heartfelt and moving because otherwise you wouldn't have gotten the response that you got.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So Angel, take it away. So then what happened?
So Denise is exactly right, Tom. So
never, ever,
what
ever,
happened
never,
was all
never say that. Never say that. That's like the kiss of death. Keep going. She's exactly right. Why?
Well, because back then, we're talking about 6 years ago. And back then, I wasn't building a business. And so everything I did on my Facebook was a reflection of who I am. And it was with the intent of purpose of communicating with the people in my circle. I wasn't building a business. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about any of that. And I think that is exactly why I jump-started my business, is because my family knew the struggles. My friends knew all I had been through. They knew what was going on. And for me to just share this good news that there was a light at the end of the tunnel, we had hope. And that was my message. And because of it, everybody reached out to me and wanted to know what. I didn't post an ad. I didn't say, oh, join me, $34.95. I didn't have any of that yucky stuff because I didn't know it. And so what happened was I exploded. People wanted to know. And my answer to them was, heck, I don't know. Here's a link. because that's all I knew. And sometimes not knowing and not having all the answers is one of the greatest things you can do for your business.
Totally. Well, because there was no manipulation. There was no, it just strictly came from your heart, and people felt that, and they were moved and inspired because of that. And I know at the beginning we had Courtney Looper on here. She was,
man.
and she's another person that I follow on Facebook who all of her posts are so beautiful and come from her heart. Like, she doesn't know any other way to be. And that's how I see you as well, Angel.
I absolutely agree with you. Courtney is a beautiful soul. She is absolutely phenomenal. And I can tell you that none of this, because it'll be 6 years in June. It'll be 7 years in June that I found network marketing. And in no point of this has anything ever been about making a dollar. I came in, I did well in my very first company. In 364 days, I was their top earner. And it was, and Tom will appreciate this. It wasn't about being the top earner. It wasn't about making a lot of money. I didn't even realize the money, what it meant and what it could do for my life. You know what it was about, Tom? Somebody pissed me off.
Yep.
I came in and I was discounted from the very beginning, not from my sponsor, but from the upline all the way up. I was discounted. I asked for help. I went into the day one. I went into a Facebook group page, puked my story and said, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And nobody said anything. Nobody liked it. And nobody commented. And so I blew it off and said, oh, they're busy. This is a big group page. They're very busy. Second day I went in, checked the post. Nobody commented. And I cried. And the day 3, when I woke up, I literally woke up and something happened while I was sleeping. And I said, I don't need them. I went into their group page. I posted this, basically, screw you, I don't need you. And then I went and I blocked every single one of them on Facebook because I was going to figure this out. I didn't know how, but I was going to figure it out. And they were not going to benefit from anything that I found out and shared with people. And so I started Google. I went to Google and I Googled everything. What does network marketing mean? What does MLM mean? What is network marketing top earner? What is a system? I just started asking really good questions.
Angel, I hate to do it to you.
Google led me to
Hold the thought. We're going to take a break. We're coming back. We're on the Genesis Communication Network. We're coming back right after this. We will be back. And we're back. So this is pretty cool. I think Adrian's coming out again, but if not, you can stay right there, Denise. And let's talk about what else. Okay, so Instagram. I was talking about Instagram with my good.
Gosh.
I'm taking off my shoe.
Oh, great.
What? Okay, so look at this. So come on in here, Adrian, and so I'm killing time till you get here. So here's the deal. On Instagram, look how fashionable I look, all color coordinated. I wore the
Denise
surfboard.
is so happy to get about 6 feet away from that shoe.
I wore the surfboard for Brooke because I heard that he knew how to ride a surfboard. But here's the deal. Allbirds. So these goofy shoes cost $90. There's a pair right there. I bought Adrian. I fell in love with them immediately after I bought them. And I because of the ad on Instagram. No, because Sam saw the ad on Instagram. He took the bait and bought the shoes. I saw him 100 times. I hated him. All of a sudden, Sanjeev Javia bought the shoes, told me to buy a pair. I immediately bought a pair. This shoe is unbelievable. It's machine washable. You don't have to wear socks. It's the coolest shoe in the world. And all the kids and all the old people are wearing them. I look extremely hip and fashionable. I know it. You don't have to tell me. And that's the story. Why? Because it's multi-level marketing. It is word of mouth. So they exposed it on Facebook like Angel's doing with everything she does, but then a human being comes in and he makes the sale and the recommendation. Just like in network marketing, I am an Allbirds fan, and that's it. True, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so tell them what is contact mapping, because I totally messed it up before because I was so excited with my business cards.
That was a very good gag of ours, I think.
Okay.
So contact mapping, what we're calling it is a relationship development system. And typically when people think about contact managers, the thing that gets thrown around is this thing called CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Manager. And here's the thing. they were never about relationships, and if they weren't about them at the beginning, they're really not about them now. It's a drip funnel, it's a automation, it's everything is about getting you out of having to talk to another human being. And we think that's all wrong. We think that the reason why we do things is because of relationships and connection, and that the world's a better place and that you feel like a better person when you do that. And that Albert story ties right into that, right? You know, you were in somebody's funnel, you were seeing all these things,
Oh my gosh,
and
every
you were
day.
aware of it, and that's fine, but you were never going to take action.
No interest. I would have never bought them.
It was only a function of relationship that had you do that. And so to be able to become the person that gets the phone call saying, hey, I've got a problem that doesn't have anything to do with your business, that doesn't have anything to do with what you do for a living, but I know that you know everyone, and I know that you care enough about me that you're not going to sell me down the river, and you're my person. That is far, far more valuable than any domain expertise that you have in whatever it is that you do. And it's far more valuable than the person that has that expertise himself or herself, because that person is valuable in this one thing. If you become the person that has the relationships, you're going to be on the receiving end of all of those phone calls, regardless of what it's about. You're going to be the hero. You're going to do so much more good and have so much more leverage in the world in doing good than you could if it was just about whatever it is that you know stuff about. And the world's going to be a better place. And that's really what you have done. That's what happens all the time in your life. And it's not magic. It's not something that you have to have a big personality to do. I don't have a huge personality. But as I start doing these things, these magical coincidences just start showing up in my life. And that's what I've seen in my own life as an introvert who doesn't have the big personality that he has, and I promise it can show up in yours.
Yeah.
Contactmapping.com.
All right. Bye-bye. We've got all the way to
Adrian,
34.
before we
We got a
jump
whole
on,
minute. Sit back, Adrian. Sit back down. We got a whole another minute. All right. Hold it. We're still on.
So,
We're still
Adrian,
on break.
everybody that stays on,
What did you ask, Angel?
Tom?
What?
Well, what I was going to tell you is after the radio part of this, at the very end, I have something that I want to teach everybody that will help them with their contact mapping. It will blow your mind.
That is
Okay,
the best
good.
news I've
That's
ever
the
heard.
best. Yeah, so right at 58:50. So stick around for the show after the show, everybody, because so at 57:50 we will be gone. Marianne, make sure Richard Bliss Brooke, of course, wants to know Angel's website to figure out her whole story. So that'll be cool, and he'll probably try to get you on his Heroes program because he's always talking to me about my higher quality guests and how he can swipe them, along with my favorite poster, Pamela Ann Schwartz. So
And
he is-
we want some bacon recommendations,
yeah,
Richard.
so unbelievable. That was one of his comments. Is I bought bacon. Okay, get out of here, Adrian. And we are back. It is Tom Chenault, and it's the Tom Chenault Show. We are in a long segment right now. So we're going to, and I know most of you have been sticking around to try to figure out how on earth Angel Fletcher does all the stuff that she does so well. And it is incredible. And she is just walking into that Facebook conversation right now that has made her an icon with never going to an opportunity meeting anywhere. She has reinvented what Facebook looks like, Facebook marketing, social media marketing. So do you have a I don't want to, Vanna White, I didn't want to actually, you have got to talk or I will hear about it later.
No.
So here's my wife, Denise Chenault.
I'm still catching my breath from changing.
Cheers.
No, I just want to, because Angel, so you were talking about, you basically banished your upline and you said, I'm just going to do this by hook or by crook. And so then what happened after you said, I'm going to do this thing with or without your help?
Well, so, Denise, I found people. I found people who knew a lot more about this. People like you guys to follow. People like Lisa Grossman. People like Todd Falcone, Diane Hockman. People, Ray Higdon. Oh my gosh, so much free content out there that I literally just invested my time to learn everything I could. And even though I did that and am so much better, I think that sometimes we forget that not knowing is the beauty of this. having to know is the beauty of this. Not having that the hunt is what I call it. Not always being on the hunt and just fishing, throwing bait out there, attracting people to you, loving on people, showing up in their lives, showing up in your own life, and being present in the conversations and being present in the day-to-day things that go on in people's life. That's what network marketing is about. It's about the relationship. It's not about the money, and it's not about transaction. It's about the love. It's definitely a hard thing, and that's what I focused on. So when you go from 1 year anniversary being the top earner of our company, the second year figuring out how that worked for me and what that meant in my world, and figuring out that I was at the top of their top, not at the top of my top, and that I had bigger things to do, more powerful things to do, and I wasn't a good fit for them. You know, we parted ways. That can be ugly. Ours worked out in the end, and I found my home, my second company. We'll be celebrating my 5-year anniversary with them this year. I'm so excited. That's something I always wanted to say. Like, my 5-year anniversary, my 10-year anniversary. I can't wait for those. Those are the mile markers that I celebrate. It has nothing to do with money. It's like a marriage, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because you're in
So,
a relationship with your company. Yeah.
You are. And so I came into this. I wanted to beat me. I wanted to beat my record. So I did. I came in and I kept on the same journey. I would change my sale based on what the market needed and where things were going on social media. But I always kept my mission, and the main thing was the main thing, and that was people. And I kept that, and I kept my focus. And so I was blessed. I came in, I did top earner of the company, first at the very top this time, in 353 days. And then soon after announced as their first $1 million earner. And then a year later announced my first $1 million earner who, you know, tell people all the time, the only thing better than doing it is having somebody that did it.
Totally.
And
yeah.
So I think I celebrated way more when Ryan got to the top and was named the $1 million earner. And from there, it's literally just been about changing lives. It's been about exposing people to my story, giving them the same opportunity, because no matter what company we're in, no matter what product we sell, no matter what compensation plan we have, we're all on the same freeway. We've all just chosen different cars to drive. And so I love this. I love sharing. I love collaboration is the new competition. So I'm connected with so many different people outside of my company and coming up with new things and innovating and all of that. That's where my goal is for 2019. I think we can save the world together.
Now, for the people that aren't familiar with network marketing, when they think that you have to get in earlier, be there first in order to be the $1 million earner like you are, what do you say to them?
I say that's what I did. It's not what I'm doing. And I think we need to focus on not where I've come from, but where we're going. And I think that it doesn't matter how long a company's been in existence. Every day is a new day. And there's, millions of people out there. You guys are in a very well-known company, way more well-known than even I am. And yet I run across people who've never heard of your company before. I think that your opportunity is what you make of it. I think that if you set yourself up in that mindset, then you lose the peace and the joy and the whole point of the journey. The journey is about unlocking you and the capability that you and the things that you bring to the opportunity. So everybody's, even in the same company, everybody's opportunity is different.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I love that you said that you sold hope, because that's what Tom and I say all the time, that is our biggest job, is to sell hope, because there's so many people that are in the position where they're barely able to keep their head above water, and they haven't even, in so long, they haven't allowed themselves the ability to dream. And when you see that little twinkle in their eye of like, oh, it can be different, and leading them down that path of step by step, this is what you have to do. and they see that they can create that, it's such a beautiful gift.
I absolutely agree with you, Denise. I think that for me, that new, fresh hope is what feeds me. And so I will forever be somebody that is fishing to bring new people and introduce new people and help them with their opportunity and to work with them on their journey. Because my journey's already happened. The beginning of it, the new, fresh, fun, exciting, like that's the past tense. It's not I have new things to come. But part of feeding that, it's like I get to experience a new honeymoon every time I bring somebody in.
Wow, that's a great attitude toward it. And how do you do it? I mean, you're obviously developing people. You're not out there. You talk to everybody. Everywhere you go, you talk to people. I've been around for that conversation. So I know you do that. But you also meet people on Facebook. How do you take them from somebody that you meet on Facebook or in person into a relationship that turns into a conversation that turns them into either a customer or a business builder? Have you got a system in place that is automated for that? How on earth are you so successful? Here I am 100 years old and I'm so poor. How are you?
Well, you know what, Tom? All of the experts, everybody that I looked at, whenever I was doing my romance it with Google, everybody talked about asking good questions. And one thing that I've learned over my almost 7 years is that when I say to you, "Hey Tom, it's nice to see you. How are you?" You repeat that to me. "Hey Angel, I'm great. How are you?" If I said, "Oh my gosh, what's new in your life?" You tell me what's new in your life. And then you say, "Oh my goodness, what's new in your life?" For me, it's a dance. It's a dance. That dance that goes back and forth is what leads me so that I can share what's new in my life without sounding pitchy or salesy or pushy. The system is talking to people. People want to be loved. People want to feel important. People want you to ask them what's going on. People want to hear what's going on with you. And for me, that's the only. Now we have ways of meeting new people on Facebook, going to groups. We have systems that do all of that. But the dance, that's a love affair that I have with every single new person that I meet because I care. They matter to me. And you can fake a lot of things in this life. A lot of things, but loving people and caring about them isn't something. And so if you're struggling, if somebody's out there and they're struggling with building these relationships, you need to look within. You need to look within and figure out, am I authentic? Am I genuine? Can they feel that I care about them? Because I can tell you one of the greatest compliments that I get pretty much every single day is that people can feel I care. And that's huge for me. And I think that is the secret sauce in being successful.
Yeah. And I love that it's just about people because, we get stuck in, especially a new person wants scripts. What do I say? How do I? And if you just love people, if you're just interested, because everybody has a story out there, and if you take time to connect with them, they will tell you everything.
100% right.
And Denise, once they do, what happens? They tell you the problems that you need to help them solve.
Totally. Yeah. Because they feel safe, and so and if it's not an authentic connection, then they won't tell you because they won't feel safe enough to tell you.
I'm speechless. She looked at me like I was going to say something, but this thing is so much like Oprah Winfrey or Ellen DeGeneres. I'm just sitting here yawning. No, that's not true. I love this because I tell you, this is what I do. And that's why we talked about CRM, contact or customer. Please develop relationships, man. This is not Macy's where you just hand somebody the money and they walk away. In fact, we were at a restaurant yesterday and the waitress says, "I don't like people. I just like I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to know anything about them. I don't want them to know anything.
I want to do my job and go home."
And I looked at the manager and I said, "You know what you should do? The minute somebody comes in that can replace this girl, you should fire her. because if she doesn't care about people, and she about swallowed her cigar at that restaurant we were at, because I'm telling you, if you don't love people, you're in the wrong business, especially in this business. So we're going to take a little break here after a while in another minute.
So we
still, yeah, I just did what Marianne did. I completely blew it, but it's too exciting. Yeah, go ahead.
The great thing is that Angel, you have built your business via Facebook, but like you said, that's just a way to get people into a conversation, and it hasn't replaced the conversation. I think people get confused around how to use social media to build their business, and there's nothing that can replace the conversation.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're going to go to a break after this, and in about 30 seconds. So, this has been the Tom Chenault Show, and Marianne's going to tell us in a minute who we have on next week. But I will tell you one thing right now. We do this show because we care about you, and we want you to have the very best people to listen to. We're not trying to sell anything. We want you to buy Angel. We want you to buy our guests, because we want you to buy this profession because it's the greatest profession on earth. And the fact that we're able to do this show every week is a gift from God. Thank you, Ted Anderson and Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back right after this. And we're back. I love that. I say that every time. You'd think I'd get sick of saying that after every break, but it's my favorite thing because I just hated those commercials. Listening to all the jazz that go along with regular AM radio, and Brooke used to just call me like crazy because he couldn't stand them.
Let's be honest.
No
He's talking about
it.
Buying bacon. That's because he thinks the apocalypse is coming.
That's exactly right. So that is so funny, and that is true. And so where were we?
So I loved what Angel said in the block here about asking great questions, because that really is so important. And you can serve people so well by asking great questions. You can take a conversation to a place that is so much more positive and create win-wins by asking better questions. And I think that's really fundamental to what contact mapping is about. And so much so that one of the things that we give away for free that is of immense value, in my opinion, is this thing called the coffee shop interview.
Yeah.
And so talk about that, because you created it.
It's right there on the website. And the reason it's there is because every conversation you have with a human being, you guys know that I've been sober 30 years. And in the world I live, with homeless people and recovering alcoholics and drug addicts, if I try to hit them with a business pitch or anything other than love, they're going to go right off that cliff again into that abyss called bad life. And my goal on this planet, I swear to every one of you, is every human being that I meet, I want to leave them feeling better about themselves than when they got there. And I live my life like that. And that all comes from questions and figuring out what's missing in their life and what I've got that's going to fill that hole. And a lot of times it's business, a lot of times it's my products, but most of the time it's what Angel told us at the very beginning, and that is hope. And if you don't know the person, you can't fill that hole. And that's what we're talking about. Before we go to what you're going to talk about, Marcy Cook, unbelievable. Rod Cook, MLM watchdog. I mean, probably before your time. These people are the pioneers in network marketing. Rod and Marcy from San Antonio, Texas. I mean, they started most of this. They're listening right now, and it just warms my heart to know that they're out there. They talked about your smile, Adrian, because you knew them down at Trinity University, and it just warms my heart. John Herensma will be on here next week. He's written a new book. That'll be good.
Awesome.
Back to you.
Yeah, that's great. So Pamela probably already did it because Pamela is the best, but we'll put the link there in the comments for you guys. The Coffee Shop Interview, it's a really short ebook, and what it really does is asking the right questions is as much about the energy and the mindset that you bring to every conversation as it is about the actual questions that you ask. And so we talk a lot about how to approach a conversation in a much better way that is going to lead you to the business outcome that you're hoping for without you throwing up all over people and coming in with this agenda that people see right through, because we're all allergic to being sold to and we recognize it instantly. And it doesn't have to be that way, and you're going to do better in business and better in life not doing it that way. And so we just talk a lot about that. We give you some sample questions and some really cool kind of wedge type of questions that really can open people up that they're not used to hearing. And so often that's another part of it, right? And Angel talked about, the how are you? We have these questions that it's like, okay, we roll the tape, right? We know what we're supposed to say to those questions. And you ask somebody a question that they're not used to hearing that snaps them out of that and into this place of actually thinking about the question that you asked. And you're going to get so much better a response out of them. They're going to remember you because of the question that you asked. And that's what it's all about.
All right, we're coming back right after this, so stick around. Be quiet for 5 seconds, Angel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're back. It's Tom Chenault, final segment, Tom Chenault Show. We're going to do an after show, so those of you that think this show is going to be over in 10 minutes are wrong. Angel's going to give us some actual really, really cool tips right after the show is over. But right now we are talking to her, and I have no idea where we left off. Do you?
We were talking about relationships.
Oh my goodness gracious. Ironically enough, speaking of, and you guys have seen my coffee cup before. I am a recovering alcoholic and network marketer. Would you like to have a cup of coffee with me? I get invited nowhere.
That's a no.
Yeah, everybody avoids me like the plague. And the reason I show this coffee cup is because if you come across as all that stuff that come across with love, you guys. If you show your heart first and foremost, and your agenda is love and relationship, everything changes. Back to Angel, back to you, Denise, my love of my life, 20 years down the road. And we're getting a puppy tomorrow.
So far, 2 days.
2 days, good.
Yeah.
Okay, take it away, baby.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking, Angel? I would love to hear your biggest insights in the last, you've been building for 5 years now with this company. And what are some of the biggest aha moments that you've had in building your business? If you wanted to give a couple of pointers to the newbie out there that is considering, January is such an amazing month because this is the time of New Year's resolutions. People want to do things differently there. And if somebody's considering network marketing, what tips would you have for that new person?
Well, I can tell you 2 of the biggest things that I learned that I'm taking forward and going to refine in 2019, Denise, are the first one is that take action, even if it's bad action, even if it's wrong action. Doing nothing gets nothing, but to doing something, taking action and doing something every single day will get you. If you do something wrong enough times, you'll figure out that it's wrong, and that'll lead you somewhere. If you do nothing enough days in a row, it just still does nothing. You're going nowhere. It takes you nowhere. So take action, whatever that looks like for you. And the second thing is that when you take action, it's the consistency of that action that will bring you results. So for example, I am horrible at Facebook Live. I don't do them. If you go to my Facebook, guys, listen, it's boring. You won't find Facebook Lives there. There's none. I don't do them.
Wow.
And so I do them inside my private group. I do them in video messaging. Why I can't do it to the public, I don't know. I can do this just fine and I feel okay. But so I decided my action for this next week is I'm going to start doing public Facebook Live because I closed myself off in a group. And that limits my influence and the amount of hope that I can bring. I have a message. I have something that the world needs to know. And whether it's about my product, about my story, and so that I can inspire someone, I want to do that on a much larger scale for 2019. And so I will be doing Facebook Live starting today. I've enrolled myself in Ray Higdon's challenge, and I'm going to start doing these Facebook Lives. Prepare yourself. They're going to be horrible. I will suck at them forever. And then one day I'll wake up and I'll be better. And so doing that, taking action and being consistent, no matter what the activity is. One of the things that I've learned watching all of these people, Denise, is that 0 doesn't mean 0 anymore for me. Zero means I have a list of things, and this is my absolute zero that I have to do every single day in order to maintain and to grow my business. And so elevating my zero keeps me so that my consistency is always there. So if I wake up tomorrow and I go, not feeling it today, I'm going to do I don't know, I don't watch TV, but let's say I was going to do a Hallmark movie day. My zero still has my steps that I need to do. So I'm still taking action and I'm still being consistent on the days that my brain thinks we're doing nothing. So for me, those are the basic things that you need to do to get your business going. The rest is all stuff you learn as you go, which is the beauty of what we do.
Yeah, I love that. And you've built your business into a habit so that it doesn't even seem like work anymore. It's just what you do every single day. And I read done is better than perfect because like Brene Brown says, the shackles of perfectionism keep a lot of people from actually taking action. And done is better than perfect. And so, like you said, just you are going to suck. If you know that is going to be uncomfortable, at some point, the shift happens and you become great.
Shift happens?
The shift.
Oh, good. All right, good.
Let me enunciate.
And done is better than perfection. And I'll tell you what, I don't even know what perfection looks like. I've never even tried for perfection.
That's what's great about you.
I don't care, man. I just slop it out. I hit it as far as I can.
Look, he's a surfer.
Yeah.
Not. No.
How about this? Because of Brooke, because of Richter. I wore this for Richard Brooke.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
there
I want to be him when I grow up.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Angel is going to stick around after this show, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about
behind the scenes.
Yeah, kind of a behind the scenes thing. But before you go, Angel, people want to know how they can find you. We've posted your websites all over the place. How would people find you if they want to find you, if they want to collaborate with you, if they want to watch you? Obviously, Facebook, anywhere else that they can get a little whatever piece of Angel Fletcher, for want of a better. So how do they do it?
11.
Yeah, tell us.
Well, on my website, there's a contact me page. I'm also, on Facebook. I have the other social media accounts. I love LinkedIn. I'm now doing a lot of my business building and maintaining relationships on LinkedIn. I have an Instagram. I have a Snapchat. I'm not actively building on those, but I do respond to messages. So literally anywhere.
All right, track her down, everybody. We'll be back after this. Thanks for listening. Next week. Beautiful. Next week, we've got the fabulous John Herensma on here, so be sure to listen to the show. Thanks for listening.
Love you, Angel.
Bye-bye. And we're back. Don't hang up. Okay, we're back with Angel. So put us both in the screen and come over here, Adrian. No, come on in here and get in here with me because I want to hear her tip. And then you come back and, I want to hear her.
Guys are going to love it.
We're gonna.
You're going to love it.
All right. So, Angel, before we even go there, everybody, the reason Adrian and I are so completely committed to this contact mapping app is because it's transformed my life. I am telling you, I am nothing more, and the show's over, so this is just an added part. I'm nothing more than a broken down alcoholic who in 1988 didn't have a dollar to his name, who had to reinvent himself completely. And I had no credibility. I had no money. I had no friends. I just had a Rolodex. And that Rolodex has served me ever since I was 21 years old. And what I did was I got sober. I got my feet back on the ground. I realized nobody reads yesterday's newspaper, and I reinvented myself as a network marketer. And it was really, really easy to do because most of the people that I was recruiting were exactly in the same boat I was. They were trying to figure out a fresh start because most of them had done exactly what I did, which was climb that ladder to success, got all the way to the top, looked down, and realized I had the ladder leaned against the wrong wall. Here I was, all kinds of money, stockbroker, complete drunken, bad human being, and I had to climb all the way back to the bottom of the ladder and climb back up. Except this time I wasn't going to make the same mistakes on the last trip up the ladder. And that's where I am today. And through that walk, I realized that my Rolodex, my contacts, all those people that I knew were my true only asset. And I learned how to treat them better than anybody. And today, I am known as the guy that knows a guy. So if you need anything in life, you're probably going to call me because I'm going to know that person to help you. That's what contact mapping is. All he did was digitize me. And inside of that, he took me to a better place in my life because, number one, I am completely organized. And number two, I thought I was good at follow-up before. And I am now a machine at follow-up. Nothing falls through the cracks because of this kid right here and his friend Rick Manelius, the PhD from MIT, who is his partner. And it is sick. So now the great Angel Fletcher has got another tip for us that's going to change our life, and I'm dying to hear it.
Me too.
Let's hear it. Take it away, Angel.
Well, absolutely. So, whenever I came into this, people were saying, oh, you got to get business cards. And I believe there's a purpose for business cards. Okay. There is. They serve a purpose. They give me the ability when I'm out there and I meet somebody at an event, I can share it. It gives me something tangible to hand people. However, very early on in this, guys, I thought that was ego marketing. And that's what I've called it. Ego marketing. What? You guys want me to get out there and you want me to just give out business cards all over the planet. And then you want me to expect people, oh, what if one day they decide they want to lose weight, they're supposed to remember my business cards in their pile and they're supposed to find me and they're supposed to do my job, which is follow up with me. Like, it didn't make any sense for me. And so I developed a system for gathering information rather than giving information. If we're going to serve people, we need to serve them and not expect them to do our jobs for us. So I'm not a fan of business cards when it comes to prospecting and meeting new people and networking. What I am a fan of is I'm the giveaway girl. Okay. I have giveaways all the time. And so I walk around life and I literally meet somebody new in the grocery store. Oh, listen, everybody loves something for free. I have my own business and I'm always giving stuff away. Would you take 4 minutes or 4 seconds and do this little survey for me? And it's a little questionnaire. It looks like a little tablet, just like this. And it literally is their name, their phone number, their address, because I have to know where to mail something if you win it, their email, and like 4 little qualifying questions. You want to lose weight? Have you ever thought about building a business? Whatever, okay? I make it my mission in life to gather and beat my numbers month to month from doing these little drawing slips. Because
that is so cool.
Listen, anybody will take 4 seconds and just jot that out, right? And so I literally have the biggest month ever. I've collected over 1,900. That's 1,900.
It's unbelievable.
I added to my list. Listen, so some people, and here's a tip for you guys that are watching. A lot of people go out and they do like trade show booths. Well, I'm not that girl. I don't want to go sit in a booth and people walk by and I don't know. I just don't. I protect my time. But what I will do is I will take my drawing slips and I will go to that event and I will, because don't we want to connect with other entrepreneur-minded people? I go to the people who are running the dang booth and I say, listen, I didn't get a booth. I don't know, for whatever reason, I missed out. So I decided that I'm holding a drawing for everybody that took the time out and they were dedicated and they got a booth. So if you'll just take, I don't know, 10 seconds, fill this out real quick. I'll enter you in a drawing.
What kind of stuff do you give away? This is so awesome.
I do so many. And it doesn't even have to be my product. If I'm having a really great month and I just want to give back and I want to build that, I'll do a Louis Vuitton wallet. And I'll just go around and I'll just say, listen, I have this business I've invested in. I want to give back. I'm going to do a drawing this month for a Louis Vuitton wallet. I'll do a dinner gift card. I'll do some of my product. It just depends on what the mood is for me. You can give away anything. I'll give away a one-on-one coaching session for an entrepreneur that wants to know how to market on Facebook. That's a really great one when you're doing these kinds of events. And then I've got their information and they've done this. And then I can flip it because it's blank as I'm walking away from them and I go, such and such day, whatever, and I make my little notes so that you could then take that and enter those into a system. The only thing better than having a system and a place to put things is having an abundance of contacts that you're consistently bringing into that system. So this is just my little tip for you guys. Instead of walking around handing out business cards and thinking that somebody's going to do their job for you, why not be on the side of that and make people feel like they're important? Listen, you're awesome. Your service was great. I want to enter you into a drawing I'm having this month. Why don't you just take a second and fill this out?
I love it. Marianne, the producer, wants to know if you accept PDF submissions for Louis Vuitton drawings.
That is so. All right. I have to go take my Metamucil, and it's already almost bedtime for me, so we're getting out of here. We love you,
Thank you
very
so
much, Angel Fletcher, and you say beautiful things to that little sidekick of yours. We love him, too. And it was a great day, wasn't it?
Fantastic. Thank
See
you
you
so
later.
much.
We
Bye.
love you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely.